When did you learn the truth about the family business? I thought that my family just owned a chain of funeral homes, but when I turned 18, my father told me that our premium cremation service was actually a body disposal scheme for organized crime operations who wanted their victims to disappear forever. Growing up, Dad made it seem like we were pillars of the community who helped grieving families. But when I turned 18 and didn't get into the college I applied for, Dad told me my only option was to take over the family business. And he said that he meant the real family business. That's when I found out that our funeral homes had been disposing of bodies for organized crime families for over 20 years. Dad explained that when criminals needed to make people disappear permanently, they brought bodies to us and we would cremate them alongside legitimate clients, mixing the ashes together. He said, "We're not just funeral directors, we're problem solvers for people who pay very well for permanent solutions." Dad showed me secret freezers where they stored bodies without death certificates and falsified paperwork that made murder victims look like natural deaths. He told me we had disposed of over 300 victims, earning $50,000 to $100,000 per cremation, depending on how messy the situation was. Dad had bribed coroners and maintained relationships with corrupt cops who tipped him off about investigations. He said, "This business has paid for everything we own, and now it's time for you to start earning your keep. I assume you can guess what will happen if you mess things up for us," he said, gesturing towards the freezer. Dad made it clear I was now a full partner whether I wanted to be or not. He brought me to meetings with crime bosses who talked about bodies like grocery deliveries and taught me how to operate industrial equipment that could reduce a human body to ash in under 2 hours. When I hesitated during my first premium cremation, Dad said, "No one ever got rich without getting their hands a little dirty. Fry him." So I did what I was told for almost a year. I lost count of the number of victims I disposed of. Some were children, and one was a pregnant woman. Somewhere, people were looking for their loved ones, praying that they were still alive. They had no idea I'd stuffed them in a cremation oven and removed the last traces of them from this earth, all to earn a few bucks from the worst people alive. Then one day, I recognized one of the bodies. It was a kid I'd gone to high school with. He'd always been nice to me, even let me copy his homework a few times when I was stuck. I'd heard that he died in a car accident, but when I saw his body riddled in gunshot wounds, I realized that was a cover-up. He'd actually been taken out by one of Dad's clients. I confronted Dad and told him I couldn't be an accomplice in this kid's murder. Dad lost his mind and screamed about everything he'd risked bringing me into the business because I was too much of a screw-up to make my own way in life. He said, "The only way out of this business is in a body bag, and I won't let you destroy everything I built just because you're getting squeamish about some dead kid who probably got what he deserved." That night I escaped and went to the FBI, offering to help build a case in exchange for witness protection. The agents were amazed by the scope of the criminal enterprise and began planning raids. I felt incredible relief knowing these families would finally learn the truth, and I'd never have to cover up another crime. But Dad wasn't just going to let me destroy his empire, and he had much more terrifying resources than I realized. Within hours of my FBI meeting, I heard shots outside the safe house where the agents had hidden me, and my agents started barking orders over their walkie-talkies. Dad's clients had already found me, and Dad had put a $50,000 bounty on my head. The FBI agents managed to get me out into a new safe house alive, but in 2 weeks, we had to move 3 more times. I was starting to lose hope. If the FBI couldn't protect me from my father long enough for the police to build a case against him, who could? But then, one of Dad's crime clients got arrested and decided to cooperate with prosecutors. He provided detailed records of every body disposal transaction, including photographs and payment receipts that proved everything I had said was true. The investigation revealed Dad had been covering up murders for over 2 decades. He was convicted of racketeering, murder conspiracy, and obstruction of justice, while entered witness protection with a new identity. I'm now 25 and working as a grief counselor, but I still have nightmares about the bodies I helped dispose of. I know I'll spend the rest of my life trying to make up for the damage our family business caused to innocent people like Tommy Rodriguez and his family.